Hello, welcome to Journey Photography. This is my review on the Nikon 85mm f1.8G lens. 85mm is a lovely focal length for portrait photographs. I tend to use this a lot for taking photographs during my wedding photography of the brides. You get an angle a little bit further higher than the bride's face and just nice and cropped onto the bride's face. Focus on her eye. I usually leave it at 1.8 and it just gives lovely results. It gives a very flattering look to a bride. It softens the face. You can focus on her eye, which is what I would do, and the nose will be a little bit soft, the side of the face a little bit soft. You get the lovely bokeh, I think that's how we pronounce it, behind, where it's soft in the background, and it just looks very flattering. It's a lovely look. You'll see it on a lot of portrait photographs. A lot of portrait photographers would use 85mm. When photographers such as myself would use it, and it's just a very flattering look. It's a lovely lens to get that soft, dreamy look, if you like, for a bride, and it's very flattering. I use it all the time, and I'll show you some photographs that I've done through my wedding photography with the 85mm. You can also get the Nikon 1.4G as well. This is the 1.8, but you get the 1.4, which is even softer, if you like. It's a wider aperture, so you're going to get even softer. It's going to be a lot more softy, creamy bokeh behind, but you're paying a lot more money for it. For example, this is average about £430 thereabouts for this. It's still a lot of money. Whereas the 1.G, the Nikon 1.G, is 1,349. So it's a big difference. Some people argue the difference, whether it's worth a difference in price. It's a beautiful lens. Obviously, the 1.4G, I should say, is a beautiful lens, a beautiful sharp. But so is this. This is very sharp as well. This is extremely good as well. Maybe Nikon didn't make a big enough difference between them. I don't know, but I cannot fault this. I've never used the 1.4, so I cannot really compare them. I know people who have, and you look online, you might find reviews of people who've compared them. Is it worth that much more money between the two? I don't know. This is a prime lens, so it's fixed focal. It's not zoom. It's set on 85. That's all you get. So you zoom with your feet. If you want to zoom in now, you zoom with your feet. But I cannot really fault it. It's very sharp. You've got to be careful though. If it's a 1. If you leave it at 1.8, which is what I would leave it on, what's the point of having that kind of ability, the high aperture there, if you're not going to use it on a lens like this? And it's very sharp at 1.8, so you might as well use it and get that beautiful effect that you're after. But you have to be careful, because the slightest movement, and you could knock the out of focus, knock the subject, the bride, for example, in my case, could be out of focus. So you got to be very careful of that. What I tend to do is I tend to take multiple shots, and I'll say to the bride what I'm doing. I'll say, I'll explain this is what I'm doing, show her a sample, show the back of the camera and say this is what I'm doing, and they're usually very flattered when they say the picture on the back. But I tend to take 10 or 12 photographs straight off, like click. I don't do continuous shooting. I do, because obviously the focus could, let's have the camera set on continuous focus, but I tend to not have continuous focus. I tend to have one spot focus on my camera. Some people do it differently. Some people use back button focusing, but I tend to just have the one, this press the shutter, it focuses. So I tend to do quite a few, so that I know I'm going to get a few in there which are going to be sharp, because it's so easy to take a photograph with this and think, oh, it looks great, and you look at it, it's blurry, because it's such a shallow depth of field. It's very easy to be out of focus. That's what I tend to do. I tend to have it on single spot focus, and I'm just like click all the time on the bride's eye, explaining to her what I'm doing, so she's not thinking, what are you doing taking all these photographs. Show her a few samples so she can see, and as you can see from the samples, I'll show you, it's worth it. It's worth the effort. It is worth the effort, and you get a lovely result. You can also get 85mm lenses from other manufacturers. Tamron do one, Samyang, I think that's pronounced as Samyang. Yongnuo would do. I think they're going to do one very soon, and then they will be probably cheaper than what the Nikon is. But this is the Nikon version. It's just the lens hood on the top there. That's the size of the lens. It's not a very big lens. It's not that heavy. really well made, really high quality. Definitely worth having in your bag if you're doing any kind of portrait shots, any kind of, I would say, wedding photographs. Not so much for the man, not so much for the couple together, but definitely for the bride and her own. You can't go wrong with it. You're going to get some absolutely stunning photographs with the 85mm. Go out and buy one. Whether you get one from another manufacturer, might be worth trying them, because obviously other manufacturers, Tamron do superb lenses. Yongnuo is starting to do some good stuff as well. They do a 35mm. I don't think they've brought the 85mm now, but they're going to bring it out very soon. So maybe worth checking out as well. But if you do any kind of portraits, close-up photographs of people's faces, especially the women, get an 85mm lens. Absolutely stunning lens. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.